The call came at 2:14 a.m., a foreign number, a country code I hadn't dialed in months. Her country code. I let it ring 3 full times. Not out of hesitation, but calculation. I wanted to hear my own heartbeat first. Steady, controlled, detached. When I finally answered, I didn't speak. All I heard was breathing. Uneven, panicked, familiar. Why did he say that? She whispered. No greeting, no name, just trembling confusion. I stared at the dark ceiling of my new apartment, my exile, my escape, and listened to her fall apart. It was during the vows, she continued. Everyone heard him. Your friend, the guest. He shouldn't have known. He said something he couldn't have known. A soft sob cracked through her voice. They said you moved on, that you forgot us. But you didn't, did you? Her voice wavered. You left something behind. I closed my eyes. There it was, the unraveling I had calculated months ago, arriving right on time. I didn't answer her question. I didn't need to, because tonight wasn't about her marriage, or her lover, or whatever truth clawed through her new life and made her dial the one number she swore she'd never call again. Tonight was about the final piece sliding into place, and she didn't even know what game she was playing. The truth had started quietly, as most betrayals do. A shift in her routine, a different perfume she claimed was a gift sample, longer showers, shorter conversations, a new password on her phone. People assume betrayal feels like a knife. It doesn't. It feels like a stillness, a cold pause in the chest, a quiet voice telling you the world you're living in isn't the one you think it is. The day I realized she wasn't mine anymore was painfully ordinary. Breakfast, coffee, silence. She kissed my cheek, absent-mindedly, like muscle memory, then checked her phone and smiled at a message she didn't bother hiding. That smile didn't belong to me. I knew it instantly. Still, I didn't confront her. Confrontation gives power to emotion, and emotion clouds strategy. Instead, I observed. Her late-night work calls, her sudden interest in real estate law, something she'd never cared about before, her need to invest in things she barely understood. A new man had entered her world, someone wealthy, connected, someone who knew exactly which strings to pull. His name appeared once, just once on her phone screen when she accidentally left it unlocked. A law firm CEO, a man who built his empire on loopholes and leverage. And one look at his photo told me everything I needed to know. My marriage wasn't ending. It had ended months ago. She was already gone, already choosing another life, another man, another future. But she didn't leave quietly. No, she wanted assets, my stocks, my property, my overseas investments. She wanted half of everything I had built, and she thought I wouldn't notice. She forgot who I was. She forgot what I was capable of when I stopped loving someone. I began gathering information with the same precision I used at work. Phone records, email metadata, bank statements. Nothing dramatic, just quiet truths hidden between lines. Her lover, the CEO, was involved in more than legal work. He had a habit of collapsing struggling companies and absorbing their assets. And my portfolio, my real estate holdings, my stock accounts, they were all things he suddenly showed interest in, through her. She became the Trojan horse, an emotional loophole, and she thought I wouldn't see it. I didn't confront, I didn't accuse, I didn't ask questions. Instead, I began moving pieces. I separated my accounts, shifted property ownership offshore, rewrote trust documents, converted stock positions into a form she couldn't touch legally. And all the while, I acted like nothing was happening. I still made her breakfast, still kissed her forehead, still listened to her fabricated work stories. Not because I cared, not anymore. I just wanted to see how far she would walk into her own lie. The final piece came by accident. Her phone buzzing at 3 a.m. His name lighting up the screen. Her breathing changing beside me. Soft, excited, guilty. I didn't wake her. I simply watched the glow of the phone fade. And that's when I decided I wouldn't confront her now. I would wait. Wait until she believed she had won. Wait until she signed the divorce papers thinking she'd taken everything from me. Wait until her new life, the one she built on betrayal, felt stable. Only then would I lift the veil and show her the truth. That she'd married into a future built on a single rotten foundation. A lie. Her lie. The evidence arrived on a cold Tuesday morning. A plain envelope. No return address. Inside, phone logs, financial transfers, hotel receipts, each timestamp aligning perfectly with the nights she claimed to be working late. I didn't feel anger. I didn't feel heartbreak, just confirmation. A calmness washed over me, clean, surgical, final. That evening she came home glowing, talking about a future project, a new opportunity. Her lover's fingerprints were all over her voice. I placed the envelope on the table between us. She stopped talking, stopped breathing. "What's this?" she whispered. "A timeline," I said simply. She opened it, her hands trembled as she flipped through each page. Silence. Tight. Suffocating. When she looked at me, her eyes were wide, shocked, broken, terrified. "You knew?" she choked out. "For a long time." "Why didn't you say anything?" I held her gaze. Steady. Cold. "Because you would have lied." She covered her face with shaking hands. A quiet sob escaped. Not remorse, fear. She realized too late that the man she betrayed wasn't weak, wasn't blind, wasn't emotionally fragile. I was patient, and now she understood what that meant. The divorce was swift. She walked away believing she had secured everything: the house, the accounts, the portfolio. She didn't know I had already moved everything out of reach. Legally, quietly, perfectly. Her new husband, the CEO, thought he married into wealth. But wealth requires ownership, control, authenticity, things she no longer possessed. And then came the wedding. I didn't attend, but I didn't have to. A friend of mine did. A guest with a single line prepared. Right before the ceremony began, he leaned toward her and whispered. Strange, for someone who claimed she left with everything, she actually walked away with nothing. Her face reportedly went pale. Her hands shook so violently she almost dropped her bouquet. Because she knew, in that moment, finally, all the assets she believed were hers weren't. All the investments, gone. The properties, legally transferred. The stocks, inaccessible. Her entire new life, built on greed, collapsed before she even said, "I do." I didn't need to be there to see it. The panic, the whispered questions, the cracks forming in her perfect day. It played out exactly as planned. A quiet revenge. Clean. Precise. And now? At 2:14 a.m., she was calling me. Crying, begging for clarity. She had no idea I was hearing exactly what I wanted to hear. Her voice shook through the phone. "You ruined everything," she whispered. "Why? Why would you let me walk into this?" I stared out at the foreign skyline, my new life, my new silence. "You weren't walking into anything," I said. "You were running." She gasped softly. "You could have warned me." "I did," I said calmly. "The day you started lying." A long pause, heavy, final. "I made a mistake," she breathed. "No," I replied. "You made a choice." Another silence. Then a broken exhale. "Do you ever think about coming back?" I let that question hang in the air, slow, quiet, surgical. Finally, I answered. I didn't move abroad to escape you, I said. I moved to stop seeing the ghost of the man you made me become. Another breath from her, sharp, wounded. Then, nothing. No more words, no more excuses, just the sound of someone realizing the world they built has already burned to ash. I ended the call, not out of anger, out of clarity. Because some stories don't need closure, they need distance. And as the silence settled around me, I finally understood. Her fall was never my revenge. My revenge was simply walking away and never looking back.